Hey there, Razorback fans. I'm Sydney Limmerhurt, and I'm thrilled to be your host for today's exclusive interviews featuring two outstanding athletes from the Arkansas Razorback softball team. Get ready to meet Kasey Wood and Cylie Halvorson. But before we dive into their stories, let's take a moment to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Everett Auto Group. They're the driving force behind Buick's See Her Greatness campaign, celebrating the achievements and empowerment of female athletes. With locations in Benton, Bryan, and Rogers, the Everett Auto Group is all about supporting women in sports, and we are so thankful to have them on board. Now, let's get down to business. As your host for today's interviews and a former gym back, I'm excited to guide you through the experiences and insights of Kasey and Cylie. Let's explore the journey of these remarkable athletes as they represent the Razorback spirit on and off the diamond. It's time to hear their stories and discover what makes them true champions on and off the field. So, hi guys, welcome.
Hi.
Could you start by telling me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you got into softball?
I'm a freshman and I'm from Bentonville, so basically on campus. And I got into softball because my older sister played, and I kind of just wanted to do everything she did. So yeah. I stuck it out after she quit. So.
What about you?
I'm a fifth year. I'm from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and kind of all my family played it. So like my aunts, my uncles, my brother even played. My sister didn't. She danced. And so I kind of just got into it and then got into travel ball and then,
fell in love with it.
Went from there.
Yeah, so you both have very different experiences. Obviously, you're a local kid. What made you choose Arkansas?
I think a big reason was they were my first visit and just the experience overall. I didn't have a lot to compare it to, but also I knew that, especially in college ball, I wouldn't find another group like it, and just being at home and getting to see my family as much as I do. Yeah. And just couldn't say no.
Yeah. You wouldn't get that anywhere else, literally. What about you?
And so I picked Arkansas just because, I transferred from South Dakota State, and I picked there just because it was close to home, but I kind of just wanted to branch out. And it was just really the people, and I had played at Bogle twice at South Dakota State. So we came here, and then we played a regional here, and I was like, this place is awesome. And funny enough, Alabama was like my dream school growing up, but when I came to Arkansas for like the regional, I was like, I think this would be like a dream school. And so just getting to experience it firsthand on the other side, and then coming on a visit, meeting the coaches, meeting the players. Hannah Gamble was actually on my...
It's a good person to have as your host.
And so I just fell in love with the people and the place.
Yeah, it's super interesting to see like someone so close and then someone so far, and like you all end up at the same place and you all end up Razorbacks for life after this. Can you both share a moment from your youth where you kind of realized like, wow, maybe I'm pretty good at this and maybe I want to do this in college?
I think a moment for me is I kind of grew up playing with all my best friends, and we started playing local, and then we started to travel a little bit more, and when we would travel and still kind of compete with even the older kids and just hear people, talk about us and see like compare ourselves to other people, we started to get competitive about it, and just playing together really made us love the sport more, and then we got to find out like more about ourselves through it. So probably just playing with my best friends growing up.
Yeah, you realized your passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So being from South Dakota, there's not very many huge tournaments, and so we were always traveling around, and we would go to Colorado every year, and so like our second year there, my friend's dad took a Snapchat of like all the coaches in the stands, and it was like 28 of them, and I was like, oh dang, like maybe I can go somewhere cool, you know, like maybe I can play at the next level. And then some of my other teammates committed, and I was like, okay, like we're on a roll, like I can get going here too. So just seeing everyone else succeed, I was like, I play with these girls every day, I compete as good as them, and so.
You both, obviously, at one point in time, kind of already mentioned you were those little girls in the stands or watching, the bigger programs on TV. Now you are those girls that little ones look up to. So what do you want them to remember about you as they aspire to be you?
I think the biggest thing is just loving where they're at and just remembering it's a game, because we still have to do that too. But just like knowing they can do anything, probably. Yeah,
I'd agree with her, kind of just knowing you can do anything. I never thought I could get here, and so just like hard work and loving the people around you and just taking it all in every single day will really get you far, and just enjoy the moment.
Social media has been huge recently. Women's sports has been huge with the women's basketball tournament. Gymnastics is on ESPN. Y'all are at the peak of your season, where ESPN is going to be broadcasting, regionals and supers, and fingers crossed the World Series for y'all. But obviously there's some negativity that might come with that. So how do you guys think that social media can be used to really put softball on a higher, more positive platform?
I think a good example is women's college basketball right now. I think when you can inspire young kids, you make their parents happy, their kids are getting into things, and kind of just what we've been doing all along right now. I think with baseball, things can get a little competitive on social media between the two sports, but I think we're on the right path right now, especially with women's sports kind of booming right now and getting some more recognition.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Brie Ellis does a good job too. Just she's someone that's really outspoken, which is awesome, and I love it. And so she kind of uses that to her advantage on social media. If anyone has anything to say, she's gonna.
I love that she's authentically herself though too. Like, she does not apologize for doing a bat flip or whatever it is that she wants to do that the guys would do and have no issues with, but the girls can just do it too. And I think it's been really cool. You've mentioned that Razorback softball has the attention that it does, because when I was an athlete here, I was one of 10 people in the stands, other than maybe the youth softball girls that were there. So y'all's platform has definitely grown. What advice, and you will bring some interesting perspective because you came from a program that wasn't as big as Arkansas. What advice would you have for, maybe a girl that's on a team like South Dakota State that doesn't get the platform that you guys have?
I honestly don't even think any of that even matters. I think what matters is the people you meet, the relationships you build, and just loving where you're at. I talk to some of the girls that come to camps, and they're like, well, I want to go to Oklahoma, and I want to go huge, and I'm like, and that's great, and dream big, always dream big, but at the same time, if you go somewhere and it's smaller, but you love it, that's the place for you. If you really love it, then stay there, and it doesn't matter where you go, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's really whatever you get out of it, wherever you are. I think there's ups and downs to both. You always want what you can't have sometimes, and I think they kind of have more of an opportunity to just play the game and not have as much outside noise or stress or things on their back, and we have that in different ways. So I think just staying true to themselves and trusting where they're at.
Can you both share a moment in your career, whether it was a team moment or an individual moment, or both? You can share more than one, that you're I'm going to remember this moment for the rest of my life.
This is gonna sound so cliche, but probably when I got Player of the Year in my conference. Accolades were never something I even thought of the whole entire year that we played, because I played COVID, but that didn't count. And then the next year I was I didn't even think about accolades at all. And then they're they're going through first team, second team, and then I don't hear my name, and I was dang, okay. And then they're and Player of the Year, and I was whoa, what? Me?
I think it's a pretty big deal.
Me? And they're oh, and forget you're on first team too. I was okay, cool, but I didn't even imagine it. I was me, a small town girl, I can do.
But it showed you all that hard work paid off. Somebody was watching and might not have felt like it, but you're oh, okay, that made it all worth it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Since I'm a freshman, I think I don't have a lot to go off of just yet, but a big thing for me was seeing my family in the stands and then seeing me for the first time on the field in a collegiate uniform and in our home state and everything. Just being able to, make my family proud, which at the beginning was kind of all it was about. Following my sister and just wanting to be like her and make my family proud and represent us well. But I think so far it's just been kind of overwhelmingly joyful to be able to make family far away and little towns in Arkansas no one knows anything about, and then be able to say I have a Razorback in my family just makes me happy.
Two kind of fun questions. Do either one of you have any superstitions?
I'm really superstitious, but not about anything particular. So how do I say this? I don't know. So
you have like
I'll have
rituals?
not really, but I'll bring like an Alani, and if I do bad with that flavor, I'm like,
switch it up.
oh yeah, like I have to go to the orange one because I did really good with the orange one last weekend. And so like I'll get an orange one again, and then if it doesn't work, I'm like, well, I have to get a different flavor.
There you go.
So like, or like
that makes
jewelry,
sense.
I'm like, oh well, I took off the necklace and then I didn't do well, so now I'm gonna put it back on.
I have to put it back on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you're not like, you don't have one specific thing, but it's like whatever's working then you have to do it the next day.
Yeah, it's just like little things.
That's not bad. Yeah. That's a little different, but I like it. Do you have anything?
I'm kind of the same way. I'll do it with my batting gloves, like do the right strap first or the left strap first, and if it doesn't work out next round, I'll
switch
fix it, or going out on the field with my playing card, like in my right pocket or my left, I'll switch it up if it goes bad or good.
Do either one of you have to keep the same hairstyle, or do you switch that up too? Is that a part of the...
Oh, okay, actually that's one too.
Yeah.
Like, I would do braids, and then like I would do well with braids. I was like, but I want to do bubbles. So then I did bubbles, and then I didn't do well, and I was like, well, I have to go back to braids.
Bubbles
ever
again.
Or just like none. Like I'll just do none.
Yeah. Not a superstition, but when things are going like bad in a game, or say you just, I don't know, the game's on the line even, maybe stressful situation, is there anything that you guys say to yourself to kind of keep you focused and keep you in the moment?
I don't say anything, but I like breathe.
Yeah.
I'm like, just like trust everything and just like breathe and try to like slow down my heart rate and just like be in the moment and just trust people around me.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Like a feeling.
Just breathe. Yeah. Who was the first female athlete that y'all remember looking up to, and talk a little bit about why?
So this comes back, like this is like kind of later in life, but so I go to Nebraska games because it was kind of close. Yeah. And we like take pictures of the players, and I'm like, oh, like Kiki Stokes is so cool. Well, then fast forward, she actually became my assistant coach at South Dakota State my first year.
Oh, wow.
And just like learning from her and listening to her experiences, that's someone I really look up to. She's now a head coach, and she's just kind of paved the way and like made me work hard.
Mine was Jackie Traina at Alabama. Bama was kind of my dream school growing up too, because my dad's family is from there. Yeah. And we'd watch all their games every weekend. We got to go to one in person, and just all the hype of J Train and that time period is kind of when I got into softball. So I really looked up to them and just the whole idea of the program, and then getting to see their ESPN special come out recently. It was cool because it's based on
those teams.
That time period. So that was kind of full circle
awesome. Too. Final question, and you guys kind of addressed it earlier, especially with Bree, but how would you or would you not address any haters that your sport or team might have and bring some more positive light to your sport?
I mean, I don't really address it, but I actually think it's really funny because they have no idea like what's going on, or like what even, sometimes they don't even know about softball. And so some of our teammates will like repost something on Twitter about someone like making a hate comment, and I'll just like it just to know that I see it. Like,
subtle. I saw
so
it.
they know that I see it, but like I just think it's funny, and I think that your words don't mean literally anything to the circle that we have.
I think it usually brings groups of women like together closer, because it shows that a lot of people just don't understand, what the team's going through, what personally people are going through. So I think just liking it or really not addressing it is kind of the best thing.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all. This was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. That is a wrap for today's episode. I want to extend a massive thank you to the two phenomenal female athletes who joined us today. Your stories are the heart and soul of our podcast, and your greatness truly shines through in every word. I also want to express my gratitude to the Everett Auto Group for continuing to promote the See Her Greatness campaign. With locations in Benton, Bryant, and Rogers, they're not just in the business of selling cars, they're champions of celebrating female excellence in sports. To my listeners, I can't thank you enough for tuning in and being a part of this empowering journey. Remember, you can catch up on all of our episodes and stay connected with the latest from Everett's See Her Greatness campaign by following us on social media. Until next time, keep believing in your greatness, keep striving for your dreams, and keep celebrating the incredible achievements of women in sports. This is Sydney Lemmerhurt signing off.